the question is, how do you improve on a bike that's already very popular, already sort of ticks lots of boxes? Well, trying to be very clever about it in some ways. On face value, it looks very much like the old Speed Twin 900, but there's an awful lot of changes. I've kept the heart of it. The engine has been reworked. It's now Euro 5 compliant. There's a new exhaust to improve the sound quality of it. It's now more fuel efficient, better MPGs. The performance is unchanged. It's still 64 brake with great gobs of torque up to a peak of about 3,800 RPM. It's a very grunty, easy to ride motor. Instead, what they've done is concentrate elsewhere. Because there's now the Speed 400 and the Scrambler X400 in the range, it's no longer the entry-level modern classic. So they've made it a bit sportier, given it a bit more features, given it a bit more attitude, given it a restyling job. So the rear end of the frame is all new. It's narrower here, the seat's a little bit taller, the peg's a little bit taller, the bar's a little bit taller, all by about 15 mil, all to make it a little bit roomier without actually making it taller, because it's slimmer at the front. And if you want it slimmer still, there's a lower seat kit that takes it down a bit for those shorty people. Styling wise, there's a new tank. It's got these lovely scallops here that makes it a little bit sporty. It's got new side panels in place of the old ones, which looked a little bit like massive wine gums thrown on the side. There's a new seat, obviously, and most tellingly of all, there's new chassis stuff. There's new electronics, there's new forks, great big fat Marzocchi upside down is at the front, new piggyback Marzocchis at the rear, both of which are similar to the more up-spec Speed Twin 1200, but they're slightly more basic versions without the adjustability and with different spring rates to suit this bike. There's also a new dash, which is taken from the Trident 660, which has now got Bluetooth connectivity. It's got a USB-C charger point on it. It's very simple and clean. There's also new brakes. There's new radial caliper at the front with Triumph branding on it, a bigger disc, which is now 320mm. Proof of the pudding is, how does it all ride? Well, the beauty with the Speed Twin before was it's dead easy to ride, had a little sporty edge, was affordable and accessible and manageable, and all of that's just the same as before, if not better. So it's a little bit roomier. For me, I'm big. Still intuitive and easy to ride, but there's a little bit more sporty edge to it, which was part of the appeal. It's a great bike. It was great before, but they've made it sportier, made it a bit better spec, and improved the looks. Will that continue making it a bestseller? I think so. It's 9195, although in this trim, with this colour scheme, it's £350 extra, but it's nice. And it appeals to an awful lot of people. I've been riding it today in Spain, and it just does it. It makes it relaxing, it's pleasant, but also sporty enough when you want it to be. I've got friends who are in their 60s thinking, oh, I quite like that. But I've also got a 20-year-old who's thinking, oh, I quite like that too. And if you've got that broad appeal, you've got a lot going for you. And I say it's a good price point too. I think it's going to stay as the best-selling bike in the modern classic range.